What it do, people? I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode, man. The Knowdatsportspodcast, sponsored by Highlight Commodity. Y'all know what the P doing, man. It's week 17 in the NFL, man. This your boy Moore Drive. Time to break down every game. Who I believe gonna win, over and under, and who will cover the point spread and who ain't. Hey, man, let me go and drop that motherfucker out real quick. Go on, knock it out the way. First game in week 17, man. Second game I meant to say, because the first game with Dallas at Tennessee. The Arizona Cardinals at the Atlanta Falcons. This game is a Lord have mercy game. The game don't really mean shit. But when it boils down to it, we got to pick somebody to win. I got it. I believe, what his name, Desmond Riddles. I think he get his first win in the NFL this Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. Reason why I say that, because the Falcons at home. Arizona is hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? Real hot garbage. They played Tampa Bay pretty good, pretty tough. But what they tell you about Tampa Bay, they the Falcons can come run the football on them. That boy Cordell Patterson should have a pretty good game. And I believe that boy Drake London have a bounce back game considering the last two games he had big crucial fumbles. So I get the edge to Atlanta Falcons straight up. Money line, I'll take the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are favored in this game by 3.5 points. I think Court McCoy gonna be starting. I believe. I don't know. I believe he's gonna start though. If Court McCoy start, it should be a way better game than the other guy start. But I say, I'm gonna say the Falcons don't cover the 3.5. The reason why I say the Falcons don't cover the 3.5 because of Arizona usually play them tough a lot. So Arizona come out here and play them real tough. I think Young Hoku, he'll kick a 3 field goal to win the game. That 0.5 will hurt the Falcons. So I say the Falcons don't cover the 3.5. I think the 0.5 gonna hurt them. I think the Falcons win the game, but I think the 0.5 will hurt them. Over and under 42. Straight up 42. I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over on that game. I'm gonna say over on the 42. I can see the Falcons winning 27-4, the 27-24. I can see the Falcons winning out down 20-23. Was that something like that? So I say over the 42. The Falcons don't cover the 3.5. I'm saying straight up. I say the Falcons don't cover the 3.5. Say appreciate you for the 3.5. If you like Arizona, take the 3.5. I believe it. The Falcons won't cover that. The last game at the Dome, it's gonna be live, but I don't think the Falcons cover the 3.5. Next game up the bat, NFC North. It's a big game for the Detroit Lions. They're trying to fight for the playoffs real hard. Or the divisional matchup against the Chicago Bears. I think the first game they played each other, I think the Bears won. I think Chicago, not to the bad, I think Detroit won by 1 point. 31-30 or some shit like that. I expect the game to be a little bit different. Because I think Detroit, I ain't gonna say I know Detroit fighting for something, they playing for something. So I expect them to come out and be a little bit crunk and make up for the loss they just had last week against Carolina. A big loss that might hurt them from getting in the playoffs. But I think they bounce back against Chicago. So I'll take money line Detroit straight up. Money line Detroit. 6 points is what they getting the Chicago Bears against Detroit. They be truthful about that. I say that too many points. This is a divisional game. Like I just said, the last time they just played them, Detroit won by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? That when they was on their little roll, like the one they on that, it started their roll. So I say Detroit don't cover them 6. I'll take them 6 points with Chicago. Over and under 52. I'm going to say up the scope. The reason why I'm going to say up the scope, because I believe Chicago can go tit for tat with them. So I think Chicago can score with them. Detroit defense, they okay. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't all that. They ain't like they can really stop a nosebleed on the regular. They may stop it at times, but not on the regular. So I say it's gonna be a fast-paced game. I'm saying up the score of that 52. The Lions don't cover the 6. Okay. Chicago say appreciate you for them 6, Detroit. Next up the bat, another interesting divisional game with some playoff emphasis going on. Really, but not really. Jacksonville at the Houston Texans. The reason why I said it has playoff emphasis on this game, really, but not really, because I don't believe if Jacksonville win or lose the game, it don't make no difference. It's all about Week 18. The winner of that game between them and the Houston Texans win the division and go to the playoff. The Thursday night game, the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, they play the Tennessee Titans on Week 18, not the Houston Texans. Play the Houston Texans right now. But in Week 18, they play the Jacksonville Jaguars play the Tennessee Titans. The winner of that game win the division. The Thursday night game, the Tennessee Titans set down a lot of starters against the Cowboys because they knew the game didn't really mean that. I don't expect Jacksonville to do that. So they got a young team, so they got to be ready. Come on with it and shake it. Jacksonville lost to Houston the first matchup between these folks. I think it was 13-6. I forgot what week it was, but it was 13-6. They probably when Jacksonville was in a 1-5, and they got them really struggling. Jacksonville, they on point now. I got Jacksonville to win their game straight up over the Houston Texans. Houston playing good ball, but I think Jacksonville they got their mojo right now. Jacksonville shaking it. No, for real, they shaking it. The question is, Jacksonville playing good enough to beat Houston by 4 points in Houston. I'm going to say yes. I said the Jacksonville Jaguars covered them 4 points. Last time they played Houston, it was 13-6. They would have scored 13-6. Yeah, they would have scored 13-6. They beat them by 7 points. Houston won by 7 points. Houston playing a lot better since then. Jacksonville playing a whole lot better since then. I say Jacksonville covered the 4 points. And they again Houston. Over and under 43.5. Houston scored 13 that game. I'm going to say over. 43.5. I'm going to say up the score. The Jacksonville Jaguars cover the 4. Next up the bat, another divisional game with a lot of playoff emphasis going on with it. The Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver Broncos just fired their coach. Straight up and down, we ain't got to talk about their game long. I like the Kansas City Chiefs. The world probably like the Kansas City Chiefs. The question is Kansas City good enough to give Denver 12.5? Last time they played Kansas City, I don't think they cover. I don't think Kansas City cover. 12.5 in Kansas City. They just fired their coach. They're going to be all out. They ain't playing for nothing. They just gave, when I say they, I'm talking about the Denver Broncos. They just gave a 51 points to the Rams. I say Kansas City covered 12.5. I think Denver done got that called it in, man. It's over with. They ready to go home. This week 17. They got them. What their record is? They 4-11. Them folk ready to shake it, man. It's over with. I said Kansas City Chiefs covered 12.5. Over and under 44.5. 44.5. Can Kansas City put up 28? Yeah. Can Russell Wilson them put up the same? I say under. And the reason why I say under is I don't think they were going to be able to come to the party. The last time they played them, they came to the party. Patrick Mahomes threw a crucial interception. They were scoring. It was like Denver was scoring. With them firing their coach and all the turmoil going on, niggas looking at Russell Wilson all crazy and all of those shit there. They ain't got no trust in them. I say under 44.5. The reason why I say under because I don't think Denver gonna be able to come to the party. I give them 14 points to the most. I say Kansas City make it put up. They may put up about 28. You know what I'm saying they may put up about 28. Yeah, I say they put up about 20 because I don't think they defense. I don't think Denver defense done sit ahead with it. I think they done packed it in. So I see up the score on the 4.5. Over and under up the score. The Chiefs cover the 12.5. Another divisional matchup, crucial divisional matchup again, and this is about the playoff picture heavy. The New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots trying to get in, the Miami Dolphins trying to hold a spot. The last spot to be exact, and the New England Patriots trying to get that spot. I think Teddy Bridgewater starting this game in New England. I don't know what the weather going to be, but I believe it should not be that well. Tua hurt. I see New England win this game. I take New England straight up in the game to win the game. I take New England straight up to win the game. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater can go down there and get a win. I see what's your boy name is, Bill Belichick, sending that defense as they have them fucked up out there. And the Patriots offense doing just enough to get by. The question is, can the New England Patriots play the game good enough to get them 3 points and beat them? I'm going to say yes. The reason why I'm going to say yes, because I'm believing in Bill Belichick to have Teddy Bridgewater out there fucked up. When it boiled down to it, I can see Bill Belichick out coaching the coach of the Miami Dolphins with Teddy Bridgewater. So I say the Patriots cover the 3, over and under 41.5. This is crazy as hell. This is crazy to me. The reason why I say that over and under 41.5, because it sounds low, but shit, the scope can goddamn be fucking around and be 27-13. It can be. But I'm going to say over on the 41.5. I'm going to say over. Hold on, let me think about that a little bit harder. We ain't can't score that much point. I take that back. I'm going to say under the 41.5. Reason why I'm going to say under, because New England don't score that many points. I'm going to say New England may put up 20 points. They may put up 20, 17-21. I don't see Teddy Bridgewater putting up no more than 13. I don't see Teddy Bridgewater putting up 20, and I don't see New England got the offense blowing that motherfucker out. So I say under the 41.5, the Patriots cover the 3. Next up the bat, New York Giants hosting the Indianapolis Colts. I think Nick Foles gonna be the quarterback for this game for the Indianapolis Colts. I'll take the Giants straight up. They're playing in New York. 5.5. Over and under 5.5. I'm gonna say the Giants cover the 5.5 that they get in the coach. The reason why, because I don't believe in Nick Foles at all. I believe the Giant defense gonna get at the coach, and eventually they'll pull off on the coach. I don't see the coach doing too much on offense with Nick Foles. I think it's in New York. I say the Giants cover the 5.5. 38.5. The over and under. Can the Giants put up 20-some points on goddamn the coach offense? Check on. I say under the 38.5. The reason why I'm gonna say under the 38.5 is I don't see the coach ready to come to the party. I don't see the coach ready to come to the party. Jeff said, I'm saying I just don't. What the 38 was like 19, 16. What it is? That's 35. Yeah, I don't see what 20-17 at 38, 21. No. I say under. I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say under 38.5. I see low scoring game. See the coach defense. I see the coach defense playing pretty good. But when it boils down to it, the Giants offense ain't all that explosive. So, but I see the Giant defense smothering on coach offense without Taylor, not no running game. I like the Giants. Giants to cover under 38.5. I see low scoring game. Next up the bat, New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of folks think they're gonna be a real good game. I don't. I think the Philadelphia Eagles go down there and handle their business and got them New Orleans gonna handle them folks, getting them folks up out there with Minshew at the quarterback. So I say Philadelphia win. The question is, can Philadelphia cover them 6.5? I'm gonna say yeah, they cover the 6.5 because of their defense. I say their defense get at New Orleans and got them New Orleans just ain't gonna be, and the Darnold just ain't gonna be able to cut it. I don't know if Olave playing them, whatever. I don't really know what's going on. I think they were him and Lattimore were limited in practice early this week. So I say Eagles cover the 6.5, 43.5 over and under. 43.5. I say I know the Eagles, I believe the Eagles put up a dub. The Eagles can put up a dub. Can they put up 43.5? They're going to put up a dub. I'm gonna say under the 43.5 because I don't believe New Orleans can come to the party. Only they can come to the party, so I'm gonna say under the 43.5. The Eagles cover the 6.5. I say they can beat them by 7 or better. Next up the bat. Another division game, good division game. Carolina Panthers against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first time the Carolina Panthers played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers earlier this year, I think Tampa Bay scored 3 points. They ate their ass out there on everything. The winner of this game, if Tampa Bay can win this game, they will clinch the division. But if they lose this game and Carolina can win next week against the New Orleans Saints, Carolina win the division. I'm gonna put this game on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I got Tampa Bay to win this game for 2 reasons. J.C. Horn's son, Jason, I forgot his name, but the cornerback for Carolina, he not playing. I expect Mike Evans to have a pretty good game. And when it boiled down to it, I think the NFL got to have Tom Brady in the playoffs. They not finna let Tom Brady make the playoffs. Kiss my ass. Not like that. So I say Tom Brady them straight up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat Carolina. Question is, can they give him 3.5 and beat him? Game here, so got that suspect 3.5. He just struggled against Arizona. Tampa Bay just struggled against Arizona. I'm gonna say in Tampa Bay, it's gonna be a low scoring game. They're gonna be a low scoring game. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay can't cover them 3.5. I say that 0.5 gonna kill them. They can beat them by 3 points, but I think that 0.5 gonna kill them. So I say Tampa Bay do not cover them 3 against Carolina. They're gonna be a real tight game. 43.5. I'm gonna say under that. The reason why I'm saying under that is because I ain't Tampa Bay ain't scoring number 17 points, maybe 20. So I'm gonna say I can see a 20 to 17, some shit like that. I can see that. I can really see that. I can see a 20 or 16 to 19. I can see that. So I say Tampa Bay can't cover 3.5. That 0.5 will kill them, and it's under 43.5. The last 1 o'clock game, Cleveland Browns at the Washington Commanders. I think Carson Wentz gonna start. Really don't make no difference. I like Washington to win the game, so they can try to keep it. They need the game to keep their playoff hopes alive, to stay in the playoff run. The Washington Commanders again, the Cleveland Browns 1.5. I feel like Washington will cover them 1.5. I feel like they better than Cleveland right now on offense. I think their defense is better than Cleveland offense, and their defense will get it out there in Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson getting what they want. So I say they cover them 1.5, the Commanders. Over and under 40.5. I'm gonna say up the score. I'm gonna say up the score on the 40.5, and the Commanders cover the 1.5. First 4 o'clock game. The San Francisco 49ers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Everybody that know anything about football know what the Las Vegas Raiders are going through right now. They just got rid of David Carr. That is his name. Derek Carr. I'm sorry. They just got rid of Derek Carr. They just benched him. Think Jason Stidham gonna start. I can see that defense eating Jason Stidham. I like the 49ers to beat them. The question is, can the 49ers give them 9.5 and beat them? I say yes, they can. The reason why, because they just fired the coach. They just got rid of the quarterback. The team don't like that. I can't see them going out there playing no kind of football. They're week 17, but the hell with it. They're not in no kind of contention. Then they like, what, 4-12? Shit like that. So I say the 49ers cover the 9.5. 41.5 the over and under. Yeah, 41.5 the over and under. I say up the score. I take that back. I take that back by the up the score. I take that back by the up the score. I take that back. 41.5. I say under. Reason why I say under because I can see them folks losing 27-13, some shit like that. 27-13. I can see that. So I'm gonna say under on the 41.5, and the 49 to cover the 9.5. Next up the back, New York Jets at the Seattle Seahawks. This is a big game for both teams. Both teams trying to make the playoff. Jets trying to get back in. Seattle trying to get back in at the same. The Jets gonna have Mike White playing. With that being said, I like the Jets to go to Seattle and get a win on the money line straight up. The question is, can the Jets give Seattle 1.5 and beat them? I'm gonna say yes, they can. I believe the Jets defense is goddamn ain't no joke. Mike White can goddamn keep the ball in motion so they don't have problem turning the ball over and take advantage when they get goddamn the ball back from their defense. So I say they cover the 1.5. Can over and under 42.5. I don't see goddamn Seattle score no more than 17 points. The Jets ain't gave up 20 points probably one time all year if they done did that. So now what can I see from the Jets? I'm gonna say under the 42.5. I'm gonna say under the 42.5. Jets cover the 1.5. Next big divisional game, playoff emphasis, real heavy in this game. The Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers, man. The Green Bay Packers trying to get in. The Minnesota Vikings, they already in, but they're trying to get the number 1 seed. Straight up in that game, man. Minnesota beat Green Bay the first game of the year. I think Dotson, the wide receiver from Green Bay, I think he hurt. I believe something wrong with him. I don't know if he's playing or not. I don't believe he's playing. I like Minnesota to win the game straight up, even though they in Green Bay. The reason why I like Minnesota to win the game straight up, because I think Minnesota, they got too many weapons. They got too many weapons. I just think they got too many weapons. And I think the defense good enough to get Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers again what they want. Green Bay getting Minnesota 3 points. I like the Minnesota Vikings, so I say appreciate them 3 points. The over and under 47.5. I don't know what the last time they played, what the score was. But I'm gonna say up the score. And Rodgers, they gonna goddamn come to the party and put up goddamn a double better. And I think Minnesota gonna put up a double better. So if they do it up a double better, I'm looking at a 28-24, 28-20. You know what I'm saying? A 34-28. I'm saying I can see that. So I say Minnesota win the game straight up. Appreciate the 3 points that Minnesota getting Green Bay. Green Bay getting Minnesota and up the score on the 47.5. Next up the bat, a battle of LA. The Los Angeles Rams against the LA Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers. They playing at probably at Charger Stadium, but goddamn they in LA, so they playing both of them at home. I like the Chargers straight up to win their game. They trying to keep their playoff berth. They trying to hold their berth. They trying to keep they got their spot. They trying to keep their spot. Justin Herbert got all his weapons with him. Mike Evans. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They shaking it. I like the Chargers to win their game. The Chargers again around 6.5. I think the Chargers can cover them 6.5. I think the Chargers can cover them 6.5. I think they can get at Baker Mayfield. Eventually got down the defense just lay down and the Chargers pull off on them. 40.5, over and under. I can see goddamn Justin Herbert and putting up at least 20 some point. I don't see the Rams doing that. But can it be a 30-10? I'm gonna say under. The reason why I'm saying under because I don't think the Rams are gonna do too much against the Chargers. I don't think they're gonna score enough points against the Chargers. I see the Chargers putting up 20 some point, but I don't see the Rams doing that. So I say under the 40. See under the 40 points, and the Chargers cover the 6.5. Sunday night game, man. A real goddamn come on with it, trying to hit your ass in the mouth game, man. Pittsburgh still getting the Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh still trying to get them still alive in their playoff hunt. Baltimore got they in the playoffs, but they trying to stay alive as in winning the division and get on a good note. I think Baltimore beat Pittsburgh the first time they played this year. Straight up in the game, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. You know what I said. I like the Baltimore Ravens to win the game. Straight up, I like Baltimore to win the game. I just think Pittsburgh gonna come play, but I just think the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers ain't ready for this shit yet. Bro. He got knocked out last game. Don't be surprised he don't get knocked out again in this game because I ain't meaning about like no concussion, them, but just they hit you in the game, man. They your ass for around and got them beat them off with a limp. So I like Baltimore straight up. Baltimore getting away 2.5. If when they boil down to it, I would give them 2.5. I'll take them 2.5 with Pittsburgh. The reason why, because I see it being a real close ass game. I don't see too many points being scored in the game. I can see a 14 goddamn 16 game. I can see that. I can really see that. And at the same time, hold on. And at the same time, I can see what it was. What the score was. I think it was 3 last time. I think it was 3 last time. I take that back. The Raven covered the 2.5. Yeah, I said the Raven covered the 2.5 because I said the Raven covered the 2.5. Cover the 2.5. Over and under 35.5. I say under. I say under the 35 because I can see a real low scoring game. And I can see the Baltimore Ravens winning on the field goal and getting up out that motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck with you. Even though they'll be sweeping Pittsburgh, but I don't think they quarterback good enough to got their handle their rival yet. This is first time they're gonna got them killing. So once again, I say Baltimore cover the 2.5 and under the 35.5. Last game of week 17, man. The Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a damn good game, boy. I'm trying to tell you. They're gonna be a damn good one, I believe. Straight up, I take Cincinnati to beat them. I think Cincinnati more balanced. Cincinnati got damn hot right now. They ain't bullshit. If Cincinnati win this game, I believe Cincinnati move to the number 1 seed in the NFC. I mean the AFC. The reason why they move number 1 or close to number 1, at least number 2, because I think they 3 now. Because they would have beat Kansas City and Buffalo this year. And them the 2 teams in front of them. So I got Cincinnati to win the game. I just think they got too many weapons for the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo getting away 1.5. I like Cincinnati. So if you're getting away 1.5, that means I say appreciate you. So I'm saying appreciate the 1.5, over and under 49.5. I'm gonna say up the scope. Buffalo ain't gonna lay down now. They're gonna come with the party too. But I say up the scope on the 49.5. Buffalo Bill, appreciate you for the 1.5. Them all the games through week 17, all the picks, the straight up picks on your screen. Now I got 3 more segments, knock them out the way real quick, man, to get y'all folks up out of here, son. First off, game of the week. What's my game of the week? My game of the week will be the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Reason why that's my game of the week, because Carolina hold down the 3-point last time they played. Boy, they got down. Carolina hit them folks in the mouth. If Dad them don't straighten it, Dad them ain't gonna make the playoff. Tampa Bay got to play their best game of the year. They done play all year Sunday. This game right here. If Dad them don't come play their best game of the year, they boo the hell. And I want to see how that gonna unfold. So that's my game of the week. Next up the bat. Y'all know what the P doing. Know that game. Just what game that I just know these folks gonna win, and they gonna cover what they got going on. They gonna cover the point, and they gonna win. I'm gonna give me a real nice one. I got the Jets to cover them over 1.5. Know that if you don't know nothing else. against Seattle. You got to know that if you don't know nothing else. The Jets, the cover, the 1.5 against Seattle, and beat them. Know that if you don't know nothing else. Last but not least, y'all know what's going on in the cuseme game, man. Cuseme game mean, man, somebody lost that they didn't pick to lose, and they gave them the points too. We call that cuseme where I come from. And my cuseme game is the Minnesota Vikings over the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay getting them 3 points. Appreciate you. We call that cuseme where I come from. I said Minnesota got them, beat them straight up and with the 3. Call that cuseme where I come from now. Know that if you don't know nothing else. Hey, man, I really appreciate y'all. I had y'all for about 30 minutes, man. Let me get y'all folks up out of here, man. It was week 17 picks, over and under, point spread, money line, straight up. Y'all know what's going on. This your boy Moore Driver. Fuck with folks, fuck with me. This Knowdatsportspodcast, sponsored by Highlight Commodity. I'm on all podcast platforms. I catch y'all for next time. Shaking the piece, same bet time, same bet channel. Know that if you don't know nothing else. Shaking it.